There we go. What are you going to do with me? All right. So, good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a hybrid class, nothing new, starting in a chair. And so, we're going to work with the chair and we're going to work with the wall for a mostly standing class. So if you have that ability to sit in a chair and be near a wall that you can access or a piece of furniture, something like that, that would be awesome. All right, so start by sitting well in the chair. And what does that mean? Ideally, right? We have our feet planted, so we're not like up on tippy toes. We have a nice kind of a 90-degree-ish shape with our legs so that our hips are seated well and we feel balanced. So things to adjust if you're really tall, like one of my guys out there, you can just sit up on a blanket to lift the seat a little bit so that the knees aren't higher than the hips. And if you're a little on the shorter side, you could put blocks or a blanket underneath your feet to raise those up a little bit. And then again, if you're sitting in the chair, try not to lean back. I know it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. However, right, good posture, shoulders are square, the hips are square to each other, the knees are coming straight out from the hips. And we're working on posture, right? We're working on sitting well and feeling that spine move from the very top base of the skull all the way down the spine until the tailbone descends down toward the seat. And then your hands can be wherever they are, sitting on your lap or maybe cupped here. This is a particular mudra. The name is escaping me. But I love this mudra where one palm sits on top of the other and then the thumbs touch. And I always think of this as a mudra for receiving, right? The palms are open, we are open, and we are receiving all that is good in the world, all the love and compassion and empathy and awareness in the world. So close your eyes if you're comfortable. Maintain a really nice posture. Maybe feel the back of the head move back in space a little bit to align the head and the neck with the rest of the spine. And then take some nice deep breaths. Inhaling deep breath in. And exhaling. Maybe start to tap into your feet. Do you feel your feet on the floor? And if you're not sitting in a chair, what parts of the body do you feel making contact with the floor? Coming into awareness here. As we breathe in deep and we exhale just as deeply, moving all the way into the bottom of the lungs. Notice the four corners of the feet. Maybe press a little bit stronger into the big toe, but not too strong, not so that you change the four corners. Good. And then let the eyes open up, shake out those hands, and get a nice roll of those shoulders. Just start to take them up, bring them back and down. Good. Couple more right here. Good. Maybe go slow as you bring those arms up. And one more. And inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring them to your heart. Interlace, press out, and then curl back. If you touch the back of the seat, that's okay. Just don't linger there for too long. And then we played with this in another class. I want you to push the hands forward, sit up nice and tall, and then take the arms up. If this is bothersome to wrists or shoulders, just let go and take the hands straight up. It's okay. And then take them forward, but reach them way out and then draw the shoulder blades back and then curl in, bring those hands in. Good. Let the hands be the mover. Press them out. Reach them out. Lift them up. Feel the stretch in the wrists. And exhale. Reach them out strong. Try to draw the shoulder blades in as you curl in. Last one. Take them out. Reach, lift. Maybe this time, if it's okay, look up very gently. Don't drop the head back. I say that every time. Please don't drop the head back. And exhale, curl, reach, 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 curl it in and shake it out. Whoo, yeah. Good. And then take the arms out, curl your fingers, curl your wrists, and give me good, strong Popeye arms. Strong, strong, strong. Squeeze them in. See if you can touch your knuckles in toward the shoulders or touching the shoulders, and then bring the elbows in. Woo. And open them up and bring them in. And open. Good. 3 more. Squeeze them in and open. Good. Pretend you got a beach ball between the arms and you want to squeeze it and open. Good. One more time. Squeeze in and open. Those wrists stay curled. Start to uncurl the arms. Stretch the backs of the hands. Once the arms are fully extended, best you can, undo the wrists, undo the fingers, spread them out big and wide. Turn the palms down and let go. Whew, good. Roll that out and go easy, Miss Betty. And cease. Good. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, cactus arms, twist everything to one side and just pause here. The elbows spread away from each other. Good. Depending on which way you twisted, because I didn't say, I don't think, take the opposite hand to that side knee. And then take your back hand behind the chair if you are using a chair. And then open both shoulders and lift the chest. Good, breathe. And just kind of notice. Now that hand that's on the knee, I want you to push your knee into your hand into your knee, and the other knee isometrically press it away so that that opposite knee isn't curling into the center. Find your breath. Take just the back arm, reach it up, cross elbows, take it down to your other knee, bend your elbows, and you can sink down through the chair or down through the legs if you want. Drop your chin. Feel a little bit of a back stretch here. Good. And then curl yourself up. Keep the elbows together. Release those arms and let go. Good. Other side. Take them up. Exhale, cactus arms, twist everything to the other side, stretch out through the chest. One hand goes to your knee, the other one drapes behind the chair, and just kind of notice, right? So how do we lift the chest without arching through the back, right? So the tailbone stays down, the back stays relatively neutral here. We're stretching through the chest. And then same thing, knee presses into hand, the other knee presses out isometrically as if you were pressing both legs against a strap. And then we breathe here. We find that nice little twist, nice little opening. And then inhale, back arm reaches up, crosses over elbow to elbow, bend those elbows and come on down. And just breathe. Nice, press it up. Inhale it up. Exhale to your heart and shake it out. Good. And then let's come to a seated figure 4. So we're going to do a lot of standing work today. So I want to make sure the hips are nice and warmed up, legs are nice and warmed up. So figure 4, just take, if I'm mirroring here, your right leg above your left knee. Now, everybody is not able to do this for hip or knee reasons, so you can go lower. It's okay with me. Just press that leg into the foot to hold it there, or press, yeah, foot into leg. And then kind of wiggle in your seat a little bit and maybe put the thumbs in the hip creases and start to kind of narrow that down a little bit. What I mean by that is we find the opening where the hips start to level out a little bit. This is, again, tricky for some, right? The knee might be way up here. It's okay. Just kind of let gravity hang out. And notice if you have any really uncomfortable pain. So that's what we want to avoid. From here, inhale, reach up. Exhale, take both hands behind either the chair or the back of the seat and open up the chest. Good, and breathe. And notice, right? Tailbone down. I know who you are out there. I'm smiling at you right now. Try not to overarch. She knows who I'm talking about. Breathe, open up the shoulders. Nice, release those hands. Inhale, reach up. Cross one elbow in front of the other and just come into a little eagle arms here. Again, stretching out through the shoulders, through the arms. Breathe. If eagle arms, if palms touching or next to each other aren't working, just separate those hands a little bit. Breathe. Notice which elbow's in front, just so we can do the other side on the other side. Release those arms, take them up. Exhale, hold on to your chair. Open up the shoulders, release that leg and press it out straight. And breathe, take the arms up. Whoo, little half dandasana on the chair. Press down through your other foot and release. All right, let's go to the other side. Take the foot where you can. Breathe. I love what Betty just did. She's so good at finding variation. So her knee doesn't like this. And so she put the block next to her foot and went here, right? More of this kind of, actually this kind of motion. I like it, Betty. She's so smart, that girl. All right, that girl, that woman. All right, here we go. Sorry, back. Hello, Mary, back to class. So sit tall. Notice maybe one side different than the other. Is this your dominant side? Does it feel tighter? Does it feel looser? Right? So tight and loose, really kind of vague terms. It might be loose, it might be weak, it might be short, it might be long. Don't worry about all that. Just play and breathe. So maybe wiggle a little bit, try to find the levelness of the pelvis, of the hips as we press into the foot. All right, inhale, take it up. Cross the elbows. Good. Come into eagle arms, ideally on the other side, if you remember which one it was. Use your breath the whole time. This other leg, right? This hip leg are opening up nice and slow, little stretch through the glutes. Find your breath and breathe. Good. Release. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take those hands behind you. Open up that chest. Whoo, and breathe. I like the back of the chair more than I like the back of the seat, just so I can really notice what I'm doing with the rest of the spine. That's it. Good. Release. Take those arms up. Release the leg, press it out, little baby half dandasana. Push into your standing foot, the one that's on the floor. Lift up really tall. And exhale, let go. Good. Almost done with this. Hang in there with me if you are getting sleepy. Take the hands to the chair, lift one leg, press it out. Good. So the height is not that important. Ideally, a straight knee, it would be awesome so we can get that hamstring stretched and get the quad active. And then bend and straighten, and 3 and 4. Good. Really work here. 5 and 6 and 7. Straight leg, best you can. 8 and 9 without hyperextending, by the way, and 10. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Good. Shake that out. Hands to the side of your chair. Open up that chest. Lift the legs. Straighten it out. Good. You don't have to keep the hands here, but it really helps for a lot of folks, especially if the leg goes too high and you want to tend to lean back. Breathe. Let's do 10. So focus, slow. And 2. And 3. Yep. And 4. Good. 5. 5 left. 5. Chest tall. 4. See, some of you slacking off out there. And 3. And 2. Woo! And 1. Hold. Maybe the arms go up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! And let go. Holy moly. Take the legs wide. Watch the pelvis, a little tilt to the pelvis here. Take your elbows to your knees. For some of you, this is going to be enough of a back or of a forward fold for you at this point. Otherwise, we can walk those hands down to the floor. Keep the spine long here. Notice I am not rounding. Breathe. I've got my elbows pressing into my knees pressing into my elbows. Tailbone reaches back and crown of the head reaches forward. Deep breath. Nice. Hands to knees. Come on up. Last stretch here before we get up. I want you to turn to one side on your chair. And again, just think about your alignment. So my inside leg stays on the chair. The outside leg is going to come down toward the floor. So for me, because of the chair just works with my height, I can keep the hips level and my knees resting on the floor. If that is not the case, if your knee is hanging, either that's okay as long as you feel steady here, or take something under the knee like a block or a blanket. And then from here, the pelvis is neutral. I want you to get really tall, really, really tall. So we're looking at a stretch of the hip flexor here. So I want you to tuck your pelvis in. And as soon as you start to tuck that glute under, you're going to start maybe feeling more of a stretch here. Everybody feeling that? Right? It can be subtle here or it can be a lot. Your inside hand goes to the back of your seat. The outside arm goes up, or the same side that knee is down, and you're going to lean over toward that side a little bit. So trying to tap into the psoas muscle. And breathe. Keep that tuck of the pelvis. Try not to arch your back. Keep the chest open. Good. Take that arm up. Take the other arm up and hold. And just think of kind of a 90-90 lunge here. Keep tucking. Keep lifting. Chest tall. And exhale, let go. Now, some of you are going to stay here. Some of you are just going to come on out because that's enough. The rest of you are just going to walk that same side leg back. And I'm going to offer a caution here, because if I'm not paying attention, I can skew the SI joints here and it feels terrible. So I'm not going into the lunge that I can do standing. I'm keeping a really soft knee. I'm still kind of focused on this psoas and quadricep muscle here. And I'm just going to sit up really tall. 1, you're here. 2, if you feel steady on the chair, take the arms up. If you don't feel steady on the chair, keep the hands on your chair. Good. See if you can tap into the deep belly here where that psoas moves up to that bottom rib. Release, hands down, relax that leg and bring it forward. And then turn yourself around. So when you work with a chair is a prop, right? It's like using the blocks, using the strap, using a blanket. It is a great teacher. So we want to pay attention to what it's telling us. So we're on the other side. I'm going to try to look for that 90-90. Interestingly, on this side, the knee doesn't go all the way to the floor. That's a real interesting observation. So I'm going to start to play with a little tuck here. And I'm just going to say, all right, how is it for me? When you're doing work like this on the chair, you want to make sure that chair is super stable. It's not going to go anywhere. Once you've got your pose, take the outside arm up. I'm taking my inside arm down, but you can keep it around the back of the chair and stretch over to one side. If you feel any discomfort in your lower back, right? Maybe you don't stretch as much. Maybe you soften the pose. Maybe you tuck a little bit. Big deep breath, big deep breath. Good, reach up. Take the other arm up. Be very mindful being on this chair. You're only halfway on it, right? And then exhale, hands go down. Take that same back leg and bring it back a little bit. And then play again. I'm really, really focused here on the hips coming into some version of level. The low belly's tucked in. I feel really solid here. And then take the arms up if you're comfortable. And breathe. That's it. One more nice deep breath. If you go a little bit tucked in the belly, you're going to feel maybe that psoas stretch a little more, some of the deep belly muscles. Good. Exhale, let go. Come back to center. Woo. And grab one of your blocks. Take it between the legs, either narrow or wide, and then give it a good squeeze. Get a little reset on those hips. I like this. I really like this. So simple, right? Little baby squeeze here. All right, scoot to the front end of your chair. Again, mindful you're on a chair. Lean back a little. Try not to touch the back of the chair. If you can, squeeze your block. Take the arms up. Little modification or variation of boat pose. Breathe. Squeeze your block. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the arms out to the side. Lift your chest. Palms face up. Palms face up. Chest open. And release. Well done. Take that block out. Try to not use hands if you can. Plant your feet and stand up. Oh, all right. Let's just move the chair out of the way. If you know you and you know you want that chair a little bit closer, you want to take a little bit of a break, go ahead and do that, right? At any time, think of your chair as child's pose. So if you want it, it's there for you to use. And then come to the front of your mat. We're not doing flow in the traditional sense, but we're going to do a little bit of flow to warm up. So come up to the front of your mat and take your hands to your heart and feel your mountain pose, right? The glutes, hips are active. The legs are active. We're not popping those knees back. The hands are to the heart. And imagine that from the center of the chest to the collarbones can get taller or longer, even with the tailbone coming down. And breathe. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, back to your heart. Bend the knees. Good. Pivot into your left foot and step back with your right foot. Tricky movement here, right? We're used to taking those hands to the floor. Find that. Engage this front hip. Reach it back. Fire up the back leg. Inhale, take it up. And breathe. Strong, strong legs here. Find your pose, little baby lunge, and then take, if your left foot is forward, take your right hand to your left knee, take your left hand to your sacrum, and roll back. Squeeze that back glute, everybody. Squeeze the back leg. Little bit of a twist. Notice. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Push off and come forward. What's tricky about that is, right, moving back and forth without the hands is way harder from a balance standpoint, but so good for you. All right, back to mountain pose. Feel that. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Lean into the right foot, bend the knees a little bit, engage your low belly, and step back. Find that first. Nothing else happens until you find stability here. Make sure you stepped back wide enough. And if you didn't, just widen the pose. Press through the back leg, engage the low belly. Inhale, take the arms up. Breathe, everybody. How does this feel? Right? So in the chair, we were stretching the same area here, front thigh, psoas, right? Here we are again. Take the left hand to the right knee, take the right hand to the sacrum. Woo! And twist. What a recovery. Breathe, the chest is tall. Find your pose. And then inhale, take it up. Exhale to your heart. Step forward. Whew. And breathe. Shake it out, everybody. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Bend the knees. We're coming back to first side. Step back, right leg. See if you can find a more solid lunge here. Use your breath. Come up nice and tall. Press through the back leg. Inhale, reach up. Find that. Exhale to your heart. Now, choices here. Either it's going to be a hand to the knee like we did before, or it's going to be an elbow to the outside of the knee. You decide, right? Does that feel too low for you? Can you find stability here? Press through the back leg. Move the weight of the front foot center or toward the heel a little bit. Yeah, feel that, right? And then come to center. Push off, step forward, shake it out. Easy peasy. You can always use a chair here, by the way. Chair on your mat, hands to the chair, little bit less complicated. All right, here we are. Mountain pose. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to your heart. Bend the knees. Think about it. What do I got to do to get this leg back there, right? So lift and step back. Find the lunge. Tone in. So it's kind of an interesting thing, right? How much of an arch do we play with in our backs? One, no pain. If your back tends to be flatter, maybe you move the pelvis forward a little bit. If you tend to be real bendy, maybe you draw it in a little bit more as we find the stretch. Inhale, take it up. Hands to heart. Remember, it's either hand or elbow. So decide what feels good. Press through the back leg, everyone. Get nice and stable. Breathe. When you come out, be ready. Tone the belly. Come back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to your heart and push off. And shake it out. And then come wide on your mat. Wide on your mat. Good. And Judy, yeah, you say you can take it back there. All right, so let's start relatively easy. We're still in warm-up phase. For me, my toes are pointed out, a little bit of goddess pose work. You can always have a chair in front of you for stability or be closer to the wall. So inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, go to five-pointed star and really feel this pose, like, right? Feel how strong this pose can be. And then super slow, elbows and knees bend. Thumb and index finger can come together. You decide for you. Look at the knees. The biggest challenge here is sitting back far enough that you're not overshooting the feet, that the knees aren't dropping in. So the knees press out against an imaginary wall. The arms are at your sides. Here we go. Slow, stand up. Big deep breath in, slow exhale. Yeah, inhale slow. Squeeze the hips, the glutes. Exhale slow. Because what do we want to do? We want to get out of this right away. So we want to go fast. Inhale, super slow. Exhale, super slow. Big deep breath. One more. Inhale, take it up. Exhale. Hold here, take the hands to the knees, roll the shoulders, lengthen through the tailbone so we're not overarching, but also not underarching, right? Years and years, I have at least one more teacher out in class today. We were taught tuck tailbone, tuck tailbone. Yeah, not so much, right? What do you need to do here to stabilize the pelvis, to feel solid, to find your breath? Can you sit back a little more? Not necessarily down. 5, yes ma'am, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave the hands where they are and just stand straight. Good. Take the toes and point them forward. I'm going to mirror here. Take your left foot, turn it in just a little bit more so the big toe is in just a hair. Take your right foot and turn it straight. Warrior 2 pose. I just lengthened my pose a little bit. For me, bend your front leg. Breathe. Find this. Can you move the front hip away from the front thigh? Judy, watch the front knee. Yep. Breathe. That's it. Tone in, take the arms out. Easy poses here, everybody, right? Accessible poses. Put more weight in your back foot. Breathe. Here we go. Front forearm, front thigh. Reach out. So when we have an injury, right? I mentioned at the beginning of class, maybe before we were recording, everybody inhale, exalted warrior, back hand down, top arm up, right? So when we have an injury, we think, oh, I can't do yoga because I have an injury. Nah, not true. We just change it up. If I can't do down dog and plank, okay, I'll do something that doesn't require any of those. Good, warrior. Straighten the front leg. Turn your toes. Let the arms come down. Roll your shoulders. We figure it out. We're yogis, we're flexible. We work it out. So back foot turns in a little bit, front foot turns straight forward. Check your distance. When you bend your front knee, are you too long? Are you too short? Is your knee flying past your ankle? If it is, bring it up. If it's super short, bend it a little more. Engage the back glute, tone in, arms out, and breathe. Now, when the arms come out, roll the shoulders back and down, and imagine those arms are floating on water. And notice that when you think of them floating on water, there's a little less tension. Do you feel that? Right? So we can hold the arms without creating a ton of tension. Take front forearm to front thigh. Take the other arm either straight up or over the ear. Keep the head lined up with that ear. Don't drop the ear down. Breathe, tone through the belly. What's going on with your front knee, your front hip? Breathe, and then push up, reach up, change arms, one down, one up. Breathe. Try not to over push this back leg's hip forward. I just was, so I noticed that was happening. Good, both arms up, warrior 2. Release the arms, turn the toes forward. Big hinge from your hips. Come on down, forward fold. You can always have your blocks here. If your hands aren't coming to the floor, maybe they're coming to your shins. Maybe they stay up at the hips. Big deep breath. Nice. Bend the knees, everybody. Turn the toes out a little bit. Hands to knees. And come on up. Whew. And then step those legs together and shake them out. All right. So you're back at the front of your mat. I'm going to turn the other way just for something new. So we're going to kind of put this together a little bit from mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Roll the shoulders back. Bend the knees and step back with your right foot, coming into a lunge, just like we did before. Find the lunge. Inhale, reach up. Nice and slow, right? I don't like, for myself, fast flow anymore. What am I learning if I'm zooming through the poses? Not nearly as much, right? It's okay to heat up, to warm up, but yeah, not for me. All right, so choices here: hand to knee, other hand to sacrum, or hands to heart, elbow down to knee. Find your twist, use your breath. Whew. You got this, everybody. Come back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up, listen up. You're gonna take the arms out to the sides. You're gonna turn your back foot to warrior two and then let the arms float, almost like a little helicopter from the side to forward back. Hold the pose, find your strength. What can you do to play here? Take your front forearm to your front thigh, reach the other arm over. Softness through your neck, your shoulder. If this hurts your shoulder, take the hand to the hip, right? It doesn't have to be some other person's version of your pose. Good. Press up, lift up. Exalted warrior. Big deep breath. Excellent. Warrior two. Straighten and turn your toes. Forward fold. Breathe. And then press up halfway. Turn the toes out. Bend the knees. One hand to each knee. Straighten the arms. 5-pointed star. Straight legs, straight arms. Goddess pose for 3. Here we go. 1 and 2 and up. Good. Last one. 3 and up. Bring those hands together over your head and then to your heart and heel toe in. And then release the hands, mountain pose. You know we have another side, just so you know. And shake it out. Let's go back to the front of your mat. So here we are again. I think I'll come to this side. So we're going to be doing other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Roll the shoulders. Soften the knees and step back with your left foot. Thank you. That's why I turned and then I questioned, so I wouldn't have my back to you. And I'm like, oh crap, which one? All right, so here we are in a lunge. Tone in, figure it out. Where is it? And then take the arms up. Thank you, girls. Breathe. Notice, press through the whole back foot, right? So if you're leaning in the pinky side of that back foot, press into the big toe. Good. And then your choice, hands to heart, either elbow or hand. Nice little twist here. Woo. And breathe. That's it. Take it center. Woo. Inhale the arms up. And then take them out, T position. Here we go. We're going to transition. Watch the front knee here, right? Easy to let that front knee float forward or float center. Breathe, warrior two. How's that pose feel? Strong, able, right? All right, elbow to knee. Breathe, take it over. Watch the front hip, maybe roll the front hip back a little bit. Notice. Inhale, both arms up. Let's float one back. Yeah, exalted warrior. Breathe, watch this back hip. Both arms up, warrior. Turn your toes forward. Take it down, forward fold. Adjust your pose as you need to. Make sure the feet are even. Breathe. Last set of goddess. The toes turn out. The knees bend and we sit way back like we got that chair back there. One hand to each knee. Take the torso up, straighten everything up. 5-pointed star. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, goddess pose. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Hold, breathe, hands to knees. Push into the thighs to straighten the legs and heel toe in. Woo! All right, shake it out, everybody. We're gonna play with the wall if you got a wall or something near you, because I did want to play with this wall a little bit to show you, and I'm just gonna move my mat out of the way, just to show you what we can do to play here. So grab one block. This one. And you're gonna take the block long ways from your knee to the wall. Can you see that? I think so. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna put my left foot forward, and hopefully you can see that pretty well. And then I'm gonna take both hands to the wall. Now, if your foot is really long compared to this, you might have to actually put a second block there, but at the flattest level, just to get you a little bit away from the wall. And then take your back foot and turn it so it's on the ball mound so that you're back in a lunge. And then come into the hips. The tailbone is long, the chest is lifted, your fingertips are to the wall. I want you to press your knee into the block, into the wall, and at the same time, I want you to see if you can straighten the arms without overarching the back. And breathe. So chest is lifted, belly is toned, back leg is active. And then walk your hands up the wall. And breathe. And look between those hands and fire up the back leg. And make sure the back inner thigh is rolling toward the wall behind you. Oh, yeah. Breathe, everybody. Take those hands back to shoulder level. Listen up. You're going to turn your back foot to the side position and find warrior here. Your knee still hanging on to that block. One hand goes to the wall. The other arm goes out. We find our breath. Push the knee into the wall, into the block, into the wall, and breathe. And then take that hand that's at the wall, leave it there, and take the other arm up and over it. A variation of extended warrior or extended side angle. Big deep breath. Release the top arm, slide it down your thigh. Take the other arm up and overhead. We just did all this on the mat. Breathe. And then release. Come back to the wall. Turn your toes. Grab your block and release it and shake it out. So hopefully you could see that pretty well with the block, right? So how did we, what did that hopefully teach you, right? When that front knee is stable, right? Then we can do the other things we want to do and not lose that stability. So let's go to the other side. Everybody okay back there? Yeah, good, good, good. So place your block very purposefully. So I've got the kneecap pressing into the block, pressing into the wall. It's nice and even. And then when I look at my front foot, it's the foot, center of the foot, center of the knee, center of the hip, and then turn the back foot so that you are in a lunge. And I might come over to this wall just so y'all maybe can see. I don't know if that's much better, but see a little different. So find the lunge and then find the fingertips and try to level out the pelvis best you can. Press through the back leg, right? And notice. So see if you can straighten the arms without arching into the low back. And breathe. And if you can't, bend and bend, right? Because part of this is how tight your psoas is. If it's super tight, your torso does not want to come upright in this pose. One of two things has to happen. Either you're going to bend forward, right? Which is okay because it's the psoas, or you're going to bend the back knee to help you get the torso upright. So from here, walk the hands up and breathe. Hi, Buddha. I feel like I should be like doing something. I'll put it at its heart. How's that? And breathe, everybody. Nice. Walk those hands back down to front of shoulders. Turn the back foot to the side position and look at your pose, right? Ideally, front heel to back arch or front heel to back heel. I'm still pressing into the block. I'm moving my front hip away from the leg, taking the arms out. Big deep breath, everyone. Your knee should feel very solid on your block. Take the back hand down, take the front arm up. You got it. And release. Come back. Hands to the wall. Turn your back foot so you're back in a lunge. Reach down, grab your block, take it out, and then step up and off that wall and shake it out. Hang on to your block. You're going to come to the wall. So start, this is not a squat, just the knees are soft, and I want you to rock side to side on the wall. So we're just giving our hips and glutes a little baby massage. Now, if you had a tennis ball, right? 2 tennis balls, I feel really good right now. All right, and then come back to center. We're gonna do a wall squat. So I want you to bend the knees to your level. Again, it's where you are today. So some of you are gonna be able to bend and come almost parallel with the thighs. Here's what I'm looking for. Knees to ankles, right? So you can be up here and that's okay, but I don't want the knees shooting past the feet. So see if you can find that. Now find the center of your sacrum. And if you need to, just rock a little side to side, come back to the middle, over arch. That's not the center. Under arch, that is not the center. Find the center. There should be space behind your lower back. Maybe not this much, but space. Your block goes between your knees, either narrow or second level, depends on how wide you want your feet. Bring the ribs toward the wall without flattening your lower back. Bring the shoulders to the wall. If you can, bring your head to the wall. If your head doesn't touch without lifting your chin, don't worry about that for now. Good, nice tone here, squeeze your block. Come out at any point. This is one of my favorite strengthening exercises. I can do it pretty well. So if you see blocks flying from over there, over here, you know I've gone too far. Good. 1, you're here, come out at any point. 2, take the arms to cactus. Woo! Right, so sacrum, middle of the sacrum, the back of the shoulders, the back of the head ideally, and then take the arms up like you're making snow angels and down. Take them up and down, little tone to the low belly and up. Squeeze them down. We got 2 left. Up. Woo. And last one. Squeeze. Hands go to the wall. Push off the wall to stand up. Grab your block. Shake it out. Set your block aside. Come back to that little baby wall squat, but not so much. Think chair pose. So I'm going to bend the knees. I'm going to open up the chest. I'm still using the wall here. I'm going to lengthen the tailbone and lift the chest. My knees are parallel to each other. Either pretend you're squeezing the block or pretend you've got a strap here. So what feels good to you? Do you feel good if you're isometrically pressing out or squeezing in? From here, the arms go up and breathe. And notice if anything changed in the pelvis, right? Did you start to arch more? Good. Press into the legs, lift the chest. The arms can be right up overhead if you can, and breathe. Your gaze is forward. It's not up, it's not down, it's forward. Even the back of the head could go to the wall. Maybe your thumbs go to the back wall. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the arms forward. Push the shoulders into the wall. Push. Way back, way back, way back. Hands down. Push off. Shake it out. How come I'm the only one going? Good, breathe. All right, so I want you to play with this idea. The inside leg is going to go to the wall in a 90-degree angle. This is not as easy as it looks, but it's super powerful for working this outer hip area. So I'm going to step the standing leg close enough that I feel like I am lined up pretty well. Okay, so front hip, front knee, front foot. And then I'm going to push this leg into the wall. And anybody who doesn't feel this in the first 5 to 10 seconds, like amazing. Good. 1, you're here. 2, you're here. The inside arm presses into the wall. The other arm, like you're holding a beach ball, press the ankle, knee, hip into the wall. Stand really tall on the standing leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart and let go. Ooh, shake it out. Turn it around. I like that one a lot because it makes me focus, one, on the standing leg mostly, right? But then also on the leg that's pressing into the wall. So if we turn it around, we put that foot up there and we realign the standing leg. So that's pretty important. If my leg's way out here and I'm just kind of sinking into the wall, we don't want that. So find that alignment, level out the hips, press that leg in, and breathe. Optional, one arm, both arms up. Focus on the leg as much as you can. Focus on the leg that is at the wall, pressing in. Right? So this is isometric work. You all know how much I love isometric work, right? It focuses the body. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Nice job, everyone. Walk the feet out. Knees are soft here. And just come into a really easy forward fold, real easy. Keep your behind on the wall for support. Find your breath. Breathe. And then hands to knees and come on up. Ooh, press the shoulders back. Press away from the wall. This next one, again, a little tricky. And what I want to do is a variation of hand to knee pose or hand to foot pose with the foot on the wall for a lot of people. So I come to the wall a little closer and I just put my foot up here. And then I find that alignment and I straighten the leg. A lot of people, that's pretty tricky. So you might want to start lower on the wall, or you might want to go with your lovely prop of a chair and have one foot on the wall here, and then you're pretending the wall is in front of you. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of options. We're flexible yogis, but if you can, take your hands to the wall and step the legs back a little bit, and then put one foot on the wall, kind of as high as it'll go for you, not too high. And then begin to straighten the leg. What we're looking for again, right? Now, if you want, well, you can hold the block to the wall so you're not leaning forward. What we're looking for here is the standing leg pretty close to being under that ankle, right? Ankle to hip. The leg that's at the wall, a little external rotation, nice and level from hip to foot. and then the arms go up. And breathe. That's it. Just see where it goes for you. If the leg's too high, it's too high. If you want to go with that side of the leg, that 90-degree to work strength there, that's awesome. Breathe, everybody. And then hands to heart. Bend into that knee that's at the wall, and then just push off and step down. All right, other side, hands go to wall. I like starting this way. It gives me some stability. Foot to the wall, even if you're here, right? Even if the leg doesn't straighten, if you work on it slowly, you start to straighten that leg. You move the hands away from the wall. The leg that's at the wall is heavy as far as the hip, right? The hip goes down, the pelvis levels out, and the arms go up. Big deep breath. Find that. Stand tall, everyone. Yep, you're looking at the wall. You're not looking up. You're not looking down. You're looking at the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew, and shake it out. So it teaches us how to push into the wall. Let's just reverse that by taking our hands to the wall instead. It's trickier. And honestly, without eyeballs on hips, it's hard to know, is that hip really level or not? So if I come to the wall here, right? And I'm just going to step back a little bit because I want the standing leg to be hip to ankle. I don't want the leg to be too far forward, too far back. So I'm going to come down to an L shape at the wall. And this might be right where you stay. Watch the arching in the back. The tailbone moves away from the crown of the head. I'm going to bend into the right leg, peel the left leg, and float it out. And breathe. We try to level the hips here, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. But don't overlift the leg that's off the floor. Don't overlift it. Find your breath. You can flex the foot. You can straighten the toes. Breathe. And then release. Good. Push off the wall. Stand up. Shake out your hands. And then let's go to the other side. So I'm going to take hands to wall. I'm going to soften my knees. I'm going to peel my right foot off and extend out. Now, what's beautiful here is if you can extend the arms as well, right? If you can reach the arms long, that head's between the arms, more or less. Breathe. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Push off your wall. Whew. And then just take your whole back body to the wall. Your whole back body. Oh. And breathe. Try to get the shoulders back. Right? Not overarch, not underarch. Legs active, but not locked out. Back of the head toward or at the wall. Mountain pose. Good. And release. All right. Tree pose at the wall. One of my absolute favorite things to do at the wall because it teaches us a whole lot about the standing leg. If we're doing tree pose, and I'm just going to do a quick, like what you don't do, right? We know this, is if I'm in tree pose and I let this hip hang out, I have zero alignment. If you look at where my hip bone is, where my ankle is, right? We don't want that. We want to engage all of this. Whew. So my hip bone lines up with the center of my thigh, the center of my foot best it can. The wall teaches us this beautifully. Here's the key. Make sure your hip points, these as its bones, the things right here, are forward. They're headlights. You don't want one over here. Straight forward. So when we come to the wall, the bent knee side is going to the wall. And here's the tricky part. You got to find your alignment. So start to play. Take your foot to the wall. Don't commit. Take your foot where you normally take it for your tree pose. And then check your standing leg to see that it is underneath you without locking the back knee. Or lock is hyperextending. Don't hyperextend the back knee. Now, here's the thing. Find your hip points. Find the headlights. Are they forward? Can you take a line from those hip points and they go straight ahead? That's what I want you to work on, because what do? We think the knee should be at straight off the wall. Look at my hips. I don't know where they are. Look at my foot. It's terrible. Knee to the wall wherever it lands, even if it's way up here. It's fine. That's your hip structure. The pose is both hip points are straight ahead. Now, this hip, pull it in. And then get tall. And unscrunch your toes because you got the wall holding you. Take the arms up. Oh. You don't have to take the arms up, right? They can stay at the chest. Find your breath, squeeze the standing legs, hip and glute, draw the muscle right in and around that bone, and breathe. And relax and smile. Open your eyes. Give me a smile, Betty. Yay! She's like, hands to heart. Release and let go. My favorite way to do and teach tree pose, because we get it. Like we go, oh, I get it. Now, which leg hurt more? The standing leg, right? It's like, woo, feel that glute. All right, other side, other side. Now that I've explained that one to death. So just find the pose first. Find your distance from the wall. Take that opposite knee in. Take the bowing of that standing leg's hip and draw it into the wall. It's like somebody could take their hand to this outer hip and just press it in toward the wall. The wall is your friend. Check the hip. See, my left hip, my left knee's to the wall, my left hip was rolled back a little bit. So level that out. That's one of my patterns. Once you find it, take the arms up and breathe. And feel, I mean, for me with the knee at the wall, this is freedom. This is like, oh yeah, now I can see what can I play with here? What needs maybe a little bit of adjusting? Am I overarching? Am I underarching? Right? Is the leg struggling? Do I need to bend the knee just a little bit more to take pressure off a knee? What's happening? Good. Lift tall. Lift the chest. Take your hands to your heart. And then release your pose. And shake it out. All right, we have time for one more balance pose. This is another of my absolute favorites on the wall. Mia's out there. She probably knows right where I'm headed. So grab your block. Half moon at the wall. Absolutely one of my favorite ways to do half moon. You have the wall so you don't have to worry about falling. You have the wall to play with opening the body out sideways while being supported. Here's the tricky part of half moon. You don't want to get there and then just drop your hip to the wall, right? You don't want to go there. You want the wall there for your safety, kind of security, peace of mind, so that when you go to half moon, you can lean up to it and maybe your hip is on it, but keep the alignment where it should be. So half moon, I have my block in my right hand. I'm not mirroring here. Got my right foot forward. My right foot is probably 6 inches from the wall because I know I need space for this little hip here. And as I lean forward, I'm going to take my block and reach it forward. For me, I tend to go further forward than others because when I stand up, when I lift that leg, See, there the hip went to the wall. I want my shoulder and my wrist to kind of line up. And then I'm going to take this top hip and the top heel and move it toward the wall. And I realize my head's all cut off. Lordy, we can't have that on Zoom, can we? All right, so my standing leg is lined up, hip, ankle, right? It feels good. I'm gonna lengthen my spine. So my bendy girl out there, lengthen the spine, bring the hip toward the wall, right? It's not a straight up and down for 99% of the people. Breathe. Take the top arm up. The back of the hand can rest to the wall. The heel can rest on the wall. Maybe your glute is resting on the wall, maybe the back of your head. Now imagine that somebody has this long leg that's on the wall and is pulling it away from you a little bit, just a little. Big deep breath. To come down, you bend your front leg, you lower your bottom leg, and you let go. So sweet. All right, let's do the other side. Same thing, my left foot is forward, the block's in my left hand. You can use that block at any height. If you do half moon without a block, great too. For me, it's an alignment issue. So I'm gonna bend my left knee. I'm gonna reach my hand, my left hand. I'm gonna lift the leg. I'm gonna check my standing foot, make sure that the hip and knee are lined up. My front hip actually has to roll back along the wall a little bit. And then the belly tones in, my heel goes to a wall, my back of my hand goes to a wall. For me, the back of my head can go to the wall without it creating an overarch in my spine. Breathe, everybody. Now engage that leg that's at the wall. Like feel like somebody's tugging on it and you're resisting. Find your breath. Play with your alignment. And then bend the knee, come on up and release it. Grab your block, take it between your knees. Take it at the narrowest setting to set your hips on the wall. Soft bend to the knees, not a squat. And then squeeze your block. Love the wall. Yay, wall. Right? The wall's awesome teacher. It's an awesome teacher. Maybe here you just work those shoulders a little bit by bringing them back. If you finding that because of life or work or whatever that your shoulders are really rounding, spend some time against the wall, right? Like little robot arms here, just press those shoulders up against the wall. It really will help. And release your squeeze, take the block to the second width. I have mine between the knees. If it hurts, then just bring it above the knees. Bring the shoulders in. Squeeze your block. Good. Last one. Take it wide. Adjust your feet accordingly. Squeeze the block. Lengthen through your pelvis. Breathe. Yeah, right. It doesn't have to be so serious to be effective and helpful and meaningful. All right, push off the wall, grab your block, and come on back to your mat. So a couple of options here. If you don't want to go to the floor, you grab your chair, your cute little chair, and you sit on the chair and you're going to do your Shavasana on the chair. Second choice, we're going to come down to the floor, is going to be a traditional Shavasana. Third choice, straighten out your mat, bring it to the wall, and do a legs up the wall version of Shavasana, because all of this is leading to Shavasana. So a fourth option really is mat to the wall, chair to the wall, legs on the chair instead of up the wall. But if you're going to go up the wall, and a lot of times we'll have a blanket or a bolster under the hips, I'm not going to do that myself today, but you can. And if you do, that bolster or blanket goes right up against the wall and the hips go on the wall. Just watch it doesn't throw your back off. Easiest way to get legs up the wall is to bring one side hip to the wall and do what feels to me like a little break dance. Roll and take the legs up. Now, if your hammies, your hamstrings are super tight, your legs are not going to easily come to the wall without discomfort. Now, the backs of my legs are not on the wall. There's a soft bend in my knees, but it feels really good. If you feel like you're straining, I would move away from the wall and bend the knees to 90 degrees. So find what feels comfortable. Take the arms out to the sides. Lengthen the back of your neck and close your eyes. And start to let everything settle down. Now, for me, I'm playing with a little unevenness in my pelvis. So I'm shifting one side of my pelvis a little closer to the wall because I can feel that it's further away. You might want to take a moment there just to see what's happening. And then really try to let it go. Let the feet relax, let the legs relax, let the arms, upper body, all that relax. Feel your breath start to settle. Feel your breath start to let go. Feel your body lean heavily into the floor or the chair if you're using it. Just let go fully. And maybe send out a silent prayer to all of the fathers out there who are doing their best every single day on this Father's Day. And to all the men out there who are maybe not fathers biologically, but fathers in the truest sense of being there, of showing up, of loving and protecting and helping. Soften down even more. And allow yourself to fully let go here. For those of you who are ready, I know that you could stay here for a long time, and please do if you have the time. But if you're ready, go ahead and start to wiggle your toes. You're going to slowly, if your legs are up the wall, you're going to slowly bend those knees. Bring them in toward chest. Give yourself a big hug, and then allow the knees to roll to one side or the other. Pausing there in fetal pose for a moment to just feel your heart. Feel the gentleness that comes both from men and women as we navigate this world. And then slowly press up. Maybe use the wall to sit against. And then bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom and your own ability to find compassion and empathy and love on this day and always. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.